Seen his highlights, and now this very special fighter brings his skill set to the Dana White Contender Series this week to take over the bantamweight division. Aram Tosamapto, welcome to Submission Radio, brother, man. It's great to have you on the program.
Oh, thank you very much, bro. Finally made it to Submission Radio.
Get out of here, man. We made it to you, man. Hey, dude, big fight this week, but before we get into it, I want to find out from you. What was your reaction? Big fight in your potential division in the UFC yesterday with the new champion. What was your reaction when you saw Merab got it done against Sean O'Malley?
I'm sure that's won't be any surprise to you, just because of how you contacted me just now. But I didn't actually watch it. I was asleep. I was asleep. I'm kind of like in my own lane right now. I'm in Vegas, but I'm not in Vegas in my mind and in my waito and my spirit. I'm actually out in the Rocky Mountains with those fellas. So as I'm buzzy because my window is staring straight out to the Rocky Mountains. So I haven't been absorbed by any of that energy over there yet. So I drove past the Sphere the first night. My limo driver took me down the strip during the other day. But other than that, I've kind of just been focusing on my fight. Been here at the Palace Station, way away from all the heat. So yeah, just been grinding and chipping away at all the things that I have to do before I fight. And yeah, congratulations to Merab. Unfortunately, I have no idea what happened.
Hey, dude, that's an interesting one though, right? So you're trying to keep your energy sort of in the right place going into the fight. Is that right? Like, you don't want to, because even as a person that does media, right? When we walk into an event or even leading into an event, sometimes even I get a bit like G'd up just being around it. Like, you just feel like you're sort of a part of it and you almost feel like you're fighting. You don't want to sort of use up all that energy before you fight. Is that what it is?
Oh, it's about timing your energy. So because your body's used to when I'm in that environment, my body's like probably like you. My body starts getting amped because it kind of knows it's anticipating what's going to happen. So my adrenaline starts kicking in. My fight or flight stuff starts taking off, and I don't really want to ignite that part of my spirit yet. I'm in what's called the Ramarongo right now, where I'm just kind of calm and everything's at peace. So I don't want to start playing with any of that stuff yet. So I'm just cuddled up at home with my nice feather blanket, brother. My kurawai.
That's so interesting, man. That's really cool. Obviously you're there with Dan Hooker, who's a good friend of the show. I know he's having a good time in Vegas. How I know you're like in your mind, you're up in the mountains, but how hard is it for you just not to get amongst it with the boys, especially with Dan there?
Nah, we know each other too well, brother. It's funny because he booked separate flights to me here and out of Tahiti, purposely because he doesn't want me and him to be together on a plane. So we've got a lot of a system going down. It's just we just don't hang out with each other when we shouldn't hang out with each other. And yeah, at this point it's doing its job. Because yeah, the boys get lost in the sauce, you know.
Yeah, I was getting FaceTimes from him before. I think he's at a U2 show or something, like you were saying. Hey, Dan, right? He's been a part of your journey, an important part of your journey, the relationship you guys have. Take us into that a little bit. When was the first time you met Dan? And when did you know that you guys kind of had a good vibe going? That a good working relationship, a good relationship as fighters, a good relationship as teammates. And, this is something that was going to, help you sort of build and something you guys could do together.
Well, that's actually buzzy that you say that, because that's kind of the way that we clicked. As he says it, like you can smell your own kind. You know what I mean? So people that are like us, they're a little bit got a few too many screws loose in a good way, in a strategic way. You can kind of smell them and see them. So when we met, and when I won the scholarship to go to his gym, once I moved there, we kind of ran into each other, like, because we wanted to keep it formal at first, like coaching. I didn't know him, he doesn't know me, so I didn't want to fuck any of it up. So yeah, he he just did the trainings. We kind of went through the motions with each other, just to like learn each other's behaviors. And then once I got a few fights under my belt, and just celebrating. I've never gotten a compliment from Dan Hooker, but yeah, you can tell when he wants to have a few quiet ones after the game. You know, you've done well. Yeah, that's what kind of sparked our relationship. Was we work hard, we aim for something, and then once we smash it, you know, we like to enjoy ourselves. And yeah, sometimes the boys just get a bit carried away.
So he's never given you a compliment, man. What? Come on, not once.
Not once. Never seen it.
Wow. Okay.
You know, allegedly.
He's an interesting guy. Obviously, he's a legend in the game and someone that's really done a lot for the Australasian region when it comes to MMA. What are a couple of things that you learned from being around him and sort of in the training room with him, and even just seeing him navigate, I guess, the rankings and the media and the life outside of fighting? What are a couple of things you learned from him?
Just to enjoy it, bro. That's what I've learned lately about him. He's become the best Dan Hooker I've ever seen. I've known Dan for like the last 6 years, and just watched his mindset kind of find its feet. You know, started being himself a lot more and started just being the true Dan Hooker. And yeah, it shows in his performances, and it shows in his mind state, and it shows in his interactions with the world. So, like, look at him yesterday. He went to the Sphere and just walked straight through the front door instead of like going around the back. And that's the Dan Hooker I know. So the more that we've gotten to see that, the more that you see the fruits of just being yourself. That's why I'm kind of like outrageously myself at the moment. I just feel like it's the best thing that you can do. If you're comfortable in your own skin, then and not really have a problem with other people's opinion of you. That way, when you go into these places where people are going to judge you anyway, you feel fine. It doesn't really affect the way that you see yourself and the outcomes that you're about to create, really. So I'm about to walk into the Contender Series and do my thing, and I feel like I'm at home. I'm not in the Rocky Mountains. I'm in the mountains of Puketi, where I grew up. You know, that's how I feel right now. I feel great.
Yeah, take me into that a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your background. Obviously, this is the first time a lot of the US fans might see. A lot of the Aussies and the Kiwis obviously are big fans of yours, but take me a little bit into the, you know, growing up in the mountains there. I heard you were telling the Who the Fuck guys a little bit about what it was like. It sounds like a really cool experience, but also it sounds like, you know, there was a few scraps going on as well. It was normal just to sort of get into it up there sometimes, just a part of it.
Yeah, it was a busy contrast of worlds. So like the Maori on my one side of my culture, they were already settled there, and the settlers came from over England. So there's like clashes of cultures that met in that environment, and it grew like a really. And so these guys were whalers when they come off the boats, you know, from all over the world, and it's a weird culture of its own. So the Maori and the indigenous, the foreigners kind of like integrated with each other, and yeah, so we got like Irish, Scottish. There's a few like Dutch and stuff up there, and there's obviously heaps of Pacific Islanders that grow up there as well. So because all these cultures they were clashing at the same time, grew like a real hard man, you know, especially working hard men. And yeah, the environment's pretty rough. So the bush over there is just mountain and wet, and yeah, I pretty much just grew up hunting and diving and fishing.
Awesome.
And it was pretty sick, bro. Riding horses through the mountains, and yeah, you know, when you introduce alcohol into the mix of that kind of integration, yeah, you get a bit of chaos, and then it started like but not really like cultural wars, but like just everyone was like more tribal, you know. So yeah, you had to kind of like earn your place in your town, if you will, and even in your city. It was pretty. There was like small gangs and stuff that kind of brewed, and yeah, so you kind of like heaps of street fights and stuff like that. It was pretty normal where we grew up to to get jumped, and yeah, you kind of had to learn how to protect yourself pretty young. But
Oh man.
that's where the hard men come from, and then hard men grew up to be hardworking men, and this is kind of how it grew.
Well, dude, I love that you're repping it here, on the world stage, and I know so many people would be so proud of you. When it comes to the fights, what's the craziest sort of street fight that you can remember? Like, did you ever have one where it's like, you versus a bunch of guys at once, or was it something, some crazy stuff like that? Was that a pretty normal thing up there?
I don't really know if I should say this stuff, but I'm gonna say it.
No one's watching. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's, yeah, my manager YouTube might get upset, but it's the past, so it's okay. It was a long time ago when I was a kid. So I got sent when I was 15. Got my jaw broken by my old man, and then I went to Auckland. I was doing rodeo riding, so I had like health insurance, and they paid for my health, for my face to get fixed. In New Zealand, like you get accident cover that's free, so the medical.
Yeah.
But did it really nicely because it was through insurance company. And then I started like getting into trouble, like stealing cars and stuff, like in South Auckland where I ended up. And my mum found out, and she was just like, "Nah, you're not doing this." So she put me on a plane to Australia, and I got flown to Brisbane when I was 15 years old. Ended up over there for a bit, and yeah, when I first got there, I just from the hood that I went to and the place that I ended up in, it was like massive culture shift.
Mm. And
so I went to this part, bro. This is a true story. It sounds not true, but it's a true story. So I get there, I meet these chicks from this league club, and one of them now is the mother to my children. So it is actually witnesses, and I got invited to this party. It was at this big hall. It's called Morayfield Hall, and yeah, it was one of her mates' birthday parties, and it was like a 16th birthday party, bro. And this is how crazy it is, right? I come from the bush, and I went over to the party, and it was a pimps and hoes party, and in Australia, in Brisbane. So I was like 16 years old. Got there, and I was like, oh my god, they actually dressed up like that, bro. I was like, this is fucking insane. And I dressed up in all this like big blue throwbacks and stuff because back home that's kind of the color that we were running.
Yeah.
And so blue throwback, blue jeans, blue shoes, blue hat, like just dressed like a gangster,
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, the night went well. We were partying, met the chick that my fucking future mother of my children at this point. Met her, and then at the end of the night, we were like standing outside. Someone had broke some shit inside, and they were blaming my cousin who was with me. Keep in mind, this idiot decided to do a backflip off this like 2-story fence the night before. So he's like rolled his ankle. His ankle's fucked, bro. He's like a hobbit shit. But because we're drinking, he's got a bit of stamina. And at the end of the night, there was just like groups of people hanging out outside.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like these, I don't know what they were. I ended up becoming friends with them, but I don't know what Nash they were. But they were like saying "so whoop," which is like where we're from is like Bloods, And I was wearing all blue. And where I come from, if someone like tries to try you like that, if you don't say something, they're like punking you out.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned around and I was like, "Hey, what? Like, all good?" Nothing. They didn't say anything. So where I'm from, like, if they wanted to fight you, they'd fight you right then.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept doing it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and I was turning around like, "Boys, like, what are you up to? Like, if you're gonna say some fighting words, stand on your shit, and have a fight. Like, don't call out Bloods and then I'm wearing all blue and you just acting like that." So me as an ignorant teenager, because I don't know anyone, right? I only know my cousin, that one person. There's probably like 200-300 people out in this parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I walk over to this balcony, jump off onto the grass down the bottom. And I like stand there screaming, "Come on then, you motherfuckers." Come then. Bro, I'm assuming there's going to be like 1 or 2 people, right?
Uh-huh.
Bro, the whole fucking party come down.
Oh, no.
So I was like cornered in this, like where the hall is. There's like a divot. And I was like cornered there. and I couldn't get out. And I was like, oh, I really fucked this up. Really fucked this up, bro. My cousin's going, no, like hobbling down, like, no. So I ended up, I got attacked. And then like, I was like fighting my way out, like surrounded. And then this guy came up behind me and like grabbed me. And shout out to him. I can't remember his name. But the chick that having the birthday, her name was Tanisha, and it was her uncle. But someone going from behind, so all I'm thinking is like liver shots. So I'm just going like elbow to the liver. Let me go. And then he's like, no, stop. He's just saying 1-on-1. And he's speaking like he's an Aboriginal guy. He's like 1-on-1, and like backs up to the wall, holding me. And I was like, telling the other people like 1-on-1. Bro, it was literally like never back down, bro. Dude, I'm not even kidding, bro. It sounds like it's not true, and I could tell a good story, but this is actually true.
Yeah.
He comes out, I jump out, fight him, like start catching him, and then I'll start getting blind shot and shit. So like cover back up to the dude. He grabs me, and I'll do a jump out. I fought like 6 guys. Ooh. The only people that can back me up for this, and because everyone hated me after that, obviously it was the first time I've been to any of their parties. So I was a fucking write-off, bro.
And it was what is it, like a Hose and Pimps party?
It was a Pimps and Hose party. But
that's so good, yeah.
Age kids, bro. Really.
Oh, I used to go to those as well.
Old shit, bro.
Yeah.
And then, we got into a few altercations in Brisbane, but luckily, we got out of there unscathed, pretty much.
Man. Well, you know what I love is, growing up, these things used to happen quite a bit over here, but I love how we can look back on it and laugh, right? And you said you met a special person at the party, so there's some silver linings there. Dude, the other thing I noticed on your Instagram is hoof life. You mentioned the horses. Take us into hoof life. What is hoof life for those people that don't know? And I'm gonna overlay this with a little bit of footage from your Instagram as you explain it.
Bro, hoof life is just something that the bro Martin has come up with to integrate some of our country culture into the city. So he's taken horses and trained them up and put them in the back of South Auckland, where it's like there's a bit more trouble with our Māori kids and the youth there. So he's got in touch with all the schools and with the police, and he's working together to create a program for kids that are like us, that just need stimulation, that need something to do, need some puzzle to figure out in order to exist in society a little bit better. He's created a pathway for that, and that's what hoof life is. And yeah, it's sick being able to ride horses through the middle of the city, and right before my fight, holding up a massive Māori flag was sick.
Dude, that was so sick. I was gonna say that was an epic video. Do you one day, right? Like we'll talk about the Dana White Contender Series in a sec, but one day, wouldn't it be awesome if the UFC came to New Zealand, if you were able to ride horse down to the octagon? It's part of your entrance. Wouldn't that be cool with the boys?
That would be fucking sick. That would be also fucking dangerous, but I'm in.
We're just gonna find the right horses, brother. We'll start training them now.
20,000 people. There's 20,000 people screaming.
Right? Yeah, true.
A horse can feel energy, so yeah, that might. But if you found the right horse, I actually got bucked off, bro.
Whoa.
I actually got fucked up, just missed the curb of my face by like this much.
Fellas, do you want your grooming routine to be a one and done deal? Well, the days of using the same trimmer for your face and your private parts are over. Thanks to our friends at Manscaped. They're coming up with the ultimate package to keep your hairs trimmed from 12 to 6. Introducing the Beard Bowls bundle featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 and the Beard Hedger, trimmer for the moneymaker, and another one for the boys downstairs. Get 20% off and free shipping now with the code word submission at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code word submission at manscaped.com. And fellas, real talk. I'm about to talk to you out there, the guys that are about to go on their dates, or the guys that are about to go in the gym, or the guys that are about to just go into work or do whatever life things you need to do. There are certain things you need to do to take care of yourself. Manscaped has you sorted, if you know what I mean. With the 20% off with the code word submission and free shipping today, the Bowl and Beard bundle will make sure that you accomplish whatever it is you're trying to do out there. What about NordVPN? It is the ultimate VPN out there. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, you can go to nordvpn.com/submission. Now, our link will give you an extra 4 months on the 2-year plan. That's right, an extra 4 months. And there's absolutely no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is down below, or of course you go to nordvpn.com/submission. What about NordVPN? You can watch your sporting events, TV shows, films which aren't available by your region by switching your virtual location. You can protect your private data like bank details, passwords, and online identity. You can switch your location anywhere to save money by purchasing cheaper flights, hotels, subscriptions. And what about the threat protection feature that protects you from viruses, malicious malware, and phishing sites? It's the fastest VPN in the world with no buffering or lagging. Premium cybersecurity for the price of a cup of coffee per month. And one NordVPN account can be used up to 10 devices. That's right, 10 devices. Go to nordvpn.com/submission now. Get the deal. Try it risk-free. It's one of the best apps in the game as well. nordvpn.com/submission. Support the show so we can provide more interviews for you throughout the next few months with nordvpn.com and Manscaped Now. Now back to the program. So yeah, what people might not realize that watching the show is, I have married family as well. My son's married, my partner's married. Even though I was born in Ukraine, it's one of my pleasures has been getting to know, the culture and getting to be a part of the family in Greymouth in New Zealand over there. But one of the things that people might not realize, man, when they watch this, especially the people in the US, is your mataura, which is, the tattoo on your face. It's a real, it has a lot of cultural significance. Just quickly, for those people who might not understand it, what is sort of the background behind it and the cultural significance that it has for you?
It's just so this is pretty much a honorable sign that I was given from people. Mata ora means the living face, and it's tā moko, which is our name for tattoo or skin art. But it also tells a story. So this story of my mata ora talks about the 2 wives of my chief. His name was Rahiri. And one of my goals of all of this is to bring more mātauranga, more knowledge to the world about our people and our ways. And Rahiri was one of the main names that I wanted to carry into the octagon. But these are his 2 wives, Ahuaiti and Whakaruru. Off these 2 women come our whole tribe. And the markings that come underneath my neck and into the middle, they're the people that come together, my tupuna, that made me. And I am the line in between. I am the space in between all the lines. The part around my mouth is my immediate family that protect me and keep me where I need to be sitting. And I have my nose done because of the knowledge that I've taken in, I've inhaled. And I have my lips done because koe koro te reo rangatira, I can speak some of my own language that's from our people. And then obviously I carry taonga. So I got a hiru on my head, the manaia that protects behind me. I got a taonga, a pounamu or greenstone, and I have another pounamu earring. I also have a korowai. This is like a cloak or blanket. They're just things that our people used. Treasures, they're called. Taonga, like treasures, and or relics, you might call them. Yeah, just part of our culture, brother.
Dude, I really appreciate it. It's all so cool, and it's great to see you bring it with you into this Dana White Contender Series and also the UFC, and also obviously a teammate of yours, Navajo Sterling, just last week getting that contract. I spoke to him briefly, and he was super pumped for you, obviously, to do the Dana White Contender Series this week. But from your perspective, you and Nav, you guys have been around each other for a while. What was it like for you to see him get it done and get it done in that kind of fashion? I knew you knew it was going to go down like that, but just seeing it happen must have been special for you as well.
Yeah, if you check out my YouTube channel, Tourism Up TV, you'll see that I called the left hook. Just the way we know how each other fights, like, so we know the moves. We know we can kind of see the same holes because of the system we use at CKB. But yeah, that was magical, bro. To watch my brother do that. Yeah, I felt like I was there. It's actually really funny. Wait there a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Pick this up. Oh, so because we got here first, bro.
Mhm.
I went into the training area first, and I got this.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, it's Navajo's one.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I got a bit of his energy, and then like they misprinted my name, so I got one of mine as well. I got these. See some more relics for me, brother. But yeah, just to watch him do it and feel his mana. I felt his mana all the way from home. I felt like I was in there with him, and mana means like strength. I felt the energy of that place, and he messaged me straight after, and he was like, "Brother," he's like, "Go in there and just be you." He goes, "People haven't felt humans like us before. They have no idea what we are." He's like, "Just go in there and be you, and the rest will be fine." And that's pretty much what I felt when I watched him fight. He was comfortable from the moment of the bell. He was comfortable. But he went through 2 layers of comfortability, which is Buzzy. The first one, when he got there, he was mentally comfortable, like, and he was grounded, and that's the first round. But he was like, because he was hunting, like he wasn't completely comfortable. And then when you see him come out in the second round, and just his composure changed, and the way he just touched stuff, just showed that he was completely mind, body, and spirit, like in the moment. You know, his wairua was in alignment, and that's the feeling that I feel already, and that's why I've kind of stayed with the Rocky Mountains. I'm looking at them now. That's why I keep looking up from my screen. But that feeling is what I can feel, and yeah, I feel like I'm at home. I feel like this is exactly where I'm meant to be, and I can't wait. I can't wait tonight, waiting tomorrow, and then we boogie, baby.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because being in that movement and having that kind of comfort in the octagon takes some time. You've obviously you're 10-0 in MMA, right? So you've had quite a bit of experience. When do you think was the first fight where you found that comfort in the ring? Because it does take some time and experience to kind of be able to shed some of the nervousness, some of the stuff that's going through your body, your mind, getting everything right to get to that point.
When was the first time I felt? Bro, this is the thing. Because we used to fight when we were like teenagers, even younger than that, at primary school and stuff. I would have to fight people, and that was the culture where we grew up. So at school, if someone had a problem with you, like one of the other kids, they'll just tell you, they'll like just step you out. They'll come up to you and be like, "Hey, we're gonna have a fight," and it's not really like you can say no. So yeah, that kind of stuff. I've been trained for this mentally my whole life. Like, if you're walking, this is the way I explain to the boys. Like, if they're having an off day, or like some of the boys that have different things that they need to do before they fight. I was like, bro, if someone shows up at your mum's house and pushes your mum over, like, you're gonna fight them? Doesn't matter if you just ate Burger King. Doesn't matter if you've been down the road having a few beers. Doesn't matter if you've been like sick. You got the flu. Like, there shouldn't be any reason why you don't feel like you could protect your family. And that's the mindset that I go into in a fight. Obviously, having Dan there helps heaps as well. A few of my build-ups for fights have been absolutely chaotic. And yeah, he just knows how to reset my energy, bro. It's actually Buzzy. When I'm too high, when I'm too deep in the void, he knows exactly how to bring me back. When I'm not far enough in the void, he knows how to send me in. And the void's just the name that we have for the energy that you have to exist in, Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your opponent, man. Elijah.
Can we go back real quick? Can we go back?
Yeah.
Bro, so technically I am 10-0. This is something I forgot.
Yeah, break this down for me, man. Yeah.
But they don't count my Arsenal X fights as MMA fights. They're
Mm.
mixed martial arts fights, guys. Come on. Where do we draw the line? If there's mixed martial arts, what makes it a mixed martial arts fight that can be as a pro mixed martial arts fight? Why is it not on my record?
Because yeah, those ones, it's like a mixture of a few. Like, is it 1 round boxing? What is it? How do those ones work?
Yeah, I'm pushing the barriers here, but
No, come on, dude. Let's
hey,
go.
so
What is?
one round's kickboxing, one round,
Yeah.
and then 1 round's full Muay Thai. Technically, that's mixed martial arts, but yeah.
So okay. So what should the record be? Let's fix this thing, man.
Oh,
I think we can do this.
I don't think you can fix it. Can you? Like,
Come on. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. How much? What should it be? So, how many of those fights did you win
10-0.
before?
It should be 10-0, but with only without those two fights, it's 8-0. So everyone keeps saying I'm 8-0, but I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm 10-0.
Hey man, it's 10-0 now, brother. We're changing it. 10-0.
How do you
It's
change?
official. We're just putting it out in the universe, man.
Okay,
That's how we do it. That's how we do it here at Submission
that's
Radio.
will make it 11-0.
11. What about 25 now? 11-0, 10. It was going to be 11-0 after the
Yeah.
Dana White Contender Series.
When you and you know, I got this board at home from when I first got over here fighting or training with Dan for the scholarship. I wrote that my 11th win would be for the UFC. Like, fucking manifestation's real, bro. No, don't listen to what no one fucking says. It's real, bro.
How you manifesting this one, brother? Because your opponent, Elijah Smith, he's sort of been known to be a pretty exciting fighter himself. Have you had a chance to look at him? Have you had a chance to sort of study him? Do you like to do that kind of thing, or do you just kind of like to go out there and just feel out your opponent in the octagon? Especially because I think you've had a couple of opponents, right, or at least one other opponent for the Dana White Contender Series before they switched him out.
Nah, it's not my job, brother. I just leave that to Eugene and Dan. They just kind of give me a series of drills and a set game plan, and I just don't do this, and then just do more of that, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah, I had Kong Lee got caught up to the big show. Pretty much now, yeah, just got this kid in the way. I don't like. Apparently, he's pretty good, but everyone is, you know, at this point. Everyone's good. You can't get an easy fucking fight. That's you know, that's over. That's over now. We're here to have hard fights. Well, let me tell you this. I'll find my range. I'll make him miss a little bit, and then if Dan Hooker lets me put him to sleep, he'll go to sleep. I have strict orders to string this one out as long as I can. So if you hear me saying, "Can I put him out of his mercy?" That's why.
Why are we keeping this one going a little bit longer, just so people can enjoy it for a few extra seconds, or?
Yeah, Dan just wants to, I don't know. It's just Dan Hooker game plans, bro. Game plans, you know how it is. He's always got a trick up his sleeve, that fella.
Yeah, he's a clever man. Take us into the nickname, man. Toes him up, because people don't realize, you know, basically the guy gets knocked out, his toes are facing up in the air, right? I want to know. Who gave you that nickname? When did it start? When did it first stick?
Yeah, bro. Fuck. That one. So that one was the same kind of thing. Just me. Before I left to go to Australia, I was a bit of a nuisance. In Kitty, in the place where I grew up, was like a nicer town out from the bush where I was.
Yeah.
And I used to go out there to play rugby union, and yeah, met a group of dudes, and they started taking me out to the parties. And obviously, it's a whiter neighborhood out close to the city, the town. Yeah, and just getting myself into trouble, bro. I went to this party one night and I wasn't invited, and yeah, it turned up. I didn't know I wasn't invited. Wink, wink. But I went.
Who's really invited to these things, right? Come on.
Their dad attacked me. After like some back and forth, and then I think the older brother and his mates tried to attack me as well. So I was just trying to fight a group of dudes, and my mate that didn't know I was there. Like, just turns up and just goes, "What the fuck?" They all like attacked me, fell into this drain. Somehow I escaped from the bottom of it, and they were all in the drain, and I wasn't. And I was just like, "Fuck." So my mate was like, "Oh fuck, I don't know, I gotta go now." And he's just like, "Fucking toes them up, eh? You just think you can toes everyone up?" But then it started as like a mock, like they were just trying to make fun of me. So every time they'd see me, I was like, "Oh, who you toesing up today? Toes them up," because my last name's like a pun of toesing someone up, which is like a slang for bashing someone in New Zealand, or the idea that you think you can bash people, you know. So I kind of didn't get used to it until I won my amateur bantamweight title, and then it was actually like a nice word to be told, but before that it was kind of like shame, you know. Just my personality is so outrageous sometimes. It gets me nicknames I don't prefer.
But it's cool. It's cool to take something that maybe had a bit of shame to it and flip it around and turn it into something really cool, man. And I know the fans are going to be excited to see you in that ring of the Dana White Contender Series. As we wrap up, dude, obviously you're focused on the fight, you're keeping your energy there, but you are in Vegas. What's one or two things you want to try doing out in Vegas before you go home to New Zealand to celebrate? I know there's a bunch of fun stuff you can do over there, a lot of fun bars and a lot of fun cool places to go to.
Well, if you have no expectations, everything's a dream, brother. So I don't want to do anything other than eat some good food. But I'm here with Dan Hooker, you know what I mean? So I'm sure I'll have a good time, boys, you know. I'm sure there'll be something for me to do in the after party. But yeah, I'm going straight from here to Tahiti. To corner some of the other boys over there, Tiki and Vi. Obviously, Danny's fighting as well from the gym. So yeah, going from Vegas to Tahiti and then back home to get back to work. So yeah, I don't think the holiday the book tour won't be that big this time around. Usually, Dan likes to say that I go on book tours after fights. Well, my dad's got 26 brothers and sisters, bro, so I don't get to see my family, and they just start hating me. So I'm like, well, I got to start going to do like late birthday catch-ups and shit with like over 100 people.
Shit, 26 brothers and sisters?
My dad, yeah.
Whoa, okay, so you got a birthday all the time. Dude, you know the good thing about your book tour? It's like those Jack Reacher books. There's so many books about to come out there. You're going to be on a permanent book tour anyway. Guys, make sure to follow the man on social media at @ToesEmUp _UFC. And of course, check him out on the Dana White Contender Series this week against Elijah Smith, man. I'm really, really excited for you. It's really going to be really cool to see in there. And congratulations on all your hard work that it took to get here, man. I know it's not easy, but it's great to see you in this position.
Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate your time. Ka kite anō.